My next guest is an actress of great talent and versatility. In a career lasting 45 years and counting, she's played everything from Emma Peel in The Avengers to Lady Macbeth, a Bond girl to Mother Courage. Her latest venture is at the Old Vic, where she plays a fading Spanish diva in the stage version of the acclaimed movie All About My Mother. Ladies and gentlemen, Dame Diana Rigg. How are you?
I'm well.
Are you well?
Yeah.
Now, let me have a look here, because I've got a quote for you. Quote, which you gave the Times about your play at the Old Vic, as I said.
Yeah.
You said to the Times, I don't think the word wholesome can be usefully applied to this play. What on earth could you mean?
Well, it's not wholesome, but it's a whole lot of fun. Very naughty.
Tell us about it.
It's actually... The play itself is about love and about the various forms that love takes. Whether it's love between men, love between women, women for their children, etc. But along the way, we explore sexuality, of course, and the various forms that sexuality takes, particularly among the gentlemen, who may have had an operation or two and have changed their sex to a degree in one particular portion of their body and to a degree in the other. I am trying not to say the rude words that the BBC...
No, this is not the BBC, and we're very... And we are very rude.
And you're very rude.
Right.
OK.
Right, so...
It's about fellas who keep their cocks...
I wanted to say that in my keeping, wouldn't I? All I got was stimulating the leaky.
And the leeches would have had a ball on my guys because my guys have breasts. So they're covering the entire market.
Absolutely. Were you shocked? Oh, not shocked. You were unshockable. But, I mean, did you actually learn a lot about sexuality that you had not known before?
Do you know I did?
Did you?
Yeah. Anybody want to know? Write to Auntie Diana. Also, on the first night, God, it was really strange. You usually get cards with black cats on saying, good luck, little bunnies, good luck. Instead of which, I got Deep Throat Uncensored sent to me in a DVD.
Really?
That was in one envelope, and in another envelope, I got a letter from a transsexual doctor in America showing me her photograph with pages and pages and pages about what they all have to go through for their operations. And it was so extraordinary for that. Get that on a first night. I could do mastermind transsexual.
What about the... I mean, we should explain that this was a film, a very famous film by Pedro Almodóvar, the Spanish director. And, of course, you have to put that in context because he's a homosexual who was actually at the time in... what was Franco still there?
It was Franco's Spain.
It was his fascist state. And to be a homosexual was to be, I mean, put in prison and worse. So you have to put all this stuff in that kind of context. And out of this, he's done this extraordinary film about relationships, which has now come to the Old Vic, and you're in it. I suppose, in a sense, of course, that something as outrageously modern and experimental as this is, it's a very experimental kind of projection of it, that you feel flattered to be actually considered.
Oh, of course. No, at my age, you usually get offered creaky old revivals.
Yes.
You know, 69.
Is that what you are?
I am 69.
Oh, God.
I thought that was the title.
Michael is
Another
making...
one with cocks in it.
Michael...
I don't want to say it now. You started the ball
Michael's
rolling.
making...
Balls rolling.
He's
Sorry.
making all these squeaky noises.
I'm sorry, our chairs are just very close.
No, it's you.
Go on.
Well, if you've seen camels wrestling, have you ever seen a horny camel?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
That's a sight for sore eyes.
Yes. I've seen giraffes mating. That's and they do that very, very rarely.
And they twine their necks at the same time. That's charming.
This conversation is taking a turn for the worse. It's about outsiders, too, this play, of course.
Yes, it
about,
is.
about
Yes.
disenfranchised people, if you like. And, of course, I mean, that's something you understand, because you've described yourself as an outsider, haven't you?
Yeah, I think my upbringing made me a bit of an outsider. You know, everybody has a context, and particularly when you're young, it's terribly important. The school you go to, your friends that you keep for a long time and all that. And I was continuously uprooted and really only settled down when I was about 11 in England. And then went to various different schools. And so I had no continuum in my life. And when I say outsider, it's not an, oh, there, poor you situation at all. No. But it's just that I don't have the same context that other people have.
Yes. You went to India with your father, of course.
I did.
And spent some time there, and came back in 1945, which was England at its grimmest. I mean, to have gone from the exotica of India to grim South Yorkshire must have been something of a culture shock, I would imagine.
Sweets rationing. Yeah. Fruit rationing. It was amazing.
And people not liking you because you in their perception, spent the war away from England.
In a rather cushy situation,
yeah. So that
also, there was another aspect to it, which was that we were ex but had been part of the British Empire. And the British Empire had a very sort of bad reputation. The British had gone to India, suppression, exploitation, a lot of rather pompous men with feathers in their hats, snobs, all that. And so the British Empire you didn't talk about.
Yes. But you went back.
I went back.
Later on, last year, in fact.
Yeah.
And you had a chance to reassess, therefore.
I did.
And was it a fruitful reassessment?
It was. It wasn't a reassessment at its most fundamental, because I knew that my dad wasn't one of those people. And he, in fact, worked for the Indians. He didn't work for the British Army or the Civil Service. And he was much loved by the people that he'd worked with and who'd worked under him. And it was lovely to pay homage to him. And also to be able to say that he was one of thousands of Brits who actually served India.
None of that's got anything to do with the acting at all, except has it? I mean, did you find that, you know, being this kind of person, almost isolated in a sense as a child, that the stage was something that you found comforting and
I think if you're isolated, you rely upon your imagination very much. And I have a vivid imagination.
And being a dame now, I mean, did you imagine, with your vivid imagination in those days, you...
He's squeaking his head.
No, be a dame.
Your imagination. I'm imagining your imagination.
Oh, dear. I'm remembering the first time you came on the show, you see. I think you came on to promote Abelard
and Eloise.
Which you...
Shall I tell you what else it was called in the theatre business?
No, go on.
It was called On Your Knees and Gobblard.
That's a commercial title.
That's a proper title. I'd go and watch that play. And it was, of course, that was the first time anybody had been on the West End, an actress had been on the West End stage nude.
Yeah. And the public made, not the public, but the newspapers made a whole lot of fuss about it. It really was ridiculous.
What, the fuss?
The fuss.
Yes.
But what was so funny was we went on tour and I think it was in Newcastle. The nude scene was very discreet, as you can imagine, discreetly lit, and we came on from either side and looked at each other in a very chaste way and then fell to the floor and blackout. But in Newcastle, somebody had bribed the electrician. And Keith Michel was halfway across, I was halfway across, and suddenly the lights came on, and you suddenly saw these two actors going, completely ruining the scene.
Were you self-conscious about your body there, though?
I hated it. I hated it. Well, when I got to New York, I hated it with good reason, because there was a critic there, I have to say this because it's true. He was small, ugly Hungarian. And he wrote about me in the nude scene. Diana Rigg is built like a brick mausoleum with insufficient flying buttresses.
Well, I wouldn't have said that.
Obviously the architectural critic.
I remember you that very, very well, that interview. And now you're, as I said, a dame. And, of course, the business of being a dame has changed so much now, hasn't it? Because I remember, again, at that time, I used to interview Dame Edith Evans, and she was very grand.
Yes, she is.
I mean, regal.
She probably still is up there.
And you're not that at all.
No. I think dames nowadays...
The theatre's changed.
Yeah, it has a lot, yes.
And she didn't look like you either. No, but this is a point about age, too. I mean, age is different now than it was, you see. I mean, you look fabulous, you see. This is the point.
Thank you.
Not that she didn't, but she was never a great beauty, but
But you wouldn't fancy her, would you?
No. Whereas... You've always known that, Rigg. Well, listen, the play goes on till November.
Yes, it does.
And then there's a possibility, I hear, of it going to Broadway.
Oh, I don't know about that.
You don't know about that?
I only live for the present.
For the moment, you. All right. But it's got good reviews. And
Yeah,
you're getting good audiences.
Yeah, brill.
So go and see it, because it's a laugh as well as anything else.
I heard you laughing.
Did you hear me laughing?
I did.
Did you? Good. You saw Parky down there laughing.
It's a good sign.
It is.
It may have been a bit of shocked laughter, but it was laughter.
Yeah, all right. Diana Rigg, thank you very much indeed.